Good morning. I am making this a little bit bigger here. Um, Having fun with the controls here. Look, I can do this. I can turn the light on. Isn't that cool? That's not good. I'm going to turn the light off. I figured out I could do some really cool things. Oh, well, no, I thought I could turn the light off. Anyway, so I've been having fun playing with using our Ladybug at home. The Ladybug is that red document camera that I always sat on my desk. I brought it home, and this is what I've been using to show my screen here. I'll be using this today during our Zoom meeting. So if you do this before the Zoom meeting, hopefully this is kind of going to be what the Zoom meeting looks like, which is what I did a little bit when we did our review last week. So this morning I had I should have made these addition and subtraction, not multiplication and division, but that's okay. So there was a reason I had you practicing these this morning because we're going to be, as we jump into the second lesson here in Module 2, and the third lesson, we're going to be using addition and subtraction and multiplication and division of whole numbers, but we're also going to be doing a lot of it with fractions and decimals. So I told you they weren't going away. So we're keeping up the practice of these because they don't go away. So hopefully you already worked these. So I'm going to work them out to the side and you'll see how you did. Okay, so first thing I would have done, and I know everybody works them a little bit differently, is go ahead and write it as a vertical problem. So you can line it up and can y'all see the pencil? I really want to write in pencil. Let me use a better pencil. Okay, is this one a little bit darker? Okay, all right. So now I'm just going to multiply. I think y'all can see that, okay? Okay, 6 times 7 is 42. I'm going to regroup my 4. 6 times 8 is 48. And 4 more, is 52. Okay, so, but do I have my decimal in the right place, or where do I put my decimal? There's 2 decimal places there, so I'm going to go over 2 places. And so you should have gotten for your answer here 5.22. Okay, so hopefully that's what you got. Sorry, my supplies are all over the place. All right, pretty simple. The lighting is not that great. I think I'm gonna have to go to using a pen, even though I don't really want to. I don't think y'all can see the pencil very good. Okay. Is that better? Okay. All right. So this next one, the key is, did you set it up correctly? Okay. Your first number is divided by the second number. Okay. Your dividend, this is your divisor. The dividend is what goes in the house, if that's what you want to call it. Okay. And the divisor is the thing you're dividing by. Okay. So if you had like 100 of something and you divided it by 5 people, you would start with 100 and divide it by the 5 people. So the other thing you need to remember to do is bring up that decimal point. We don't have a decimal here in our divisor, so we don't have to worry about moving anything over. We're good to go. We know that 36 does not go into 10, so we're going to start with a 0 here in front of your decimal point. Please don't forget those. It seems silly, but you really need to, it helps you keep your place, and you should have a 0 placeholder in front of decimal points all the time. So next thing I know is if I do 3, that's going to be too many, because 3 times 30 is already 90, and 3 times 6 is going to put me over 100, so it's got to be 2. So when I do 2 times 36, I have 72. When I subtract that, I have 28. I bring down my other 8. Now this one, I started thinking, okay, I have a feeling this answer is a good even number. Well, it's a decimal, but whatever. I knew there wasn't going to be a remainder. I didn't think there'd be a remainder. So I started thinking, what can I multiply 6 by to get an 8 at the end? And I knew, well, 6 times 8 is 48. So I'm going to try that. So I actually came over here to the side and I did a little multiplication just to check. Oh, y'all can't see that. Sorry. And I was like, okay, this is 48. Okay, and then that's 32 and 8 more. No, that's 34 and 24. Good Lord. 8 times 3 is 24 and 4 more is 28. So I was like, oh, good, this does work. So I knew that this would give me a 0, and then my final answer would be 0.28. Okay, so I didn't have to move any decimals over here, but you do need to make sure you bring that decimal straight up and use your 0 placeholder. Okay, now down here, I had you guys doing some addition and subtraction with fractions. So this one's actually really not that hard. Actually, neither one of them are hard. You could probably do them mental math wise, both of them. But I'm just going to write them out in case you weren't able to do it mental math these are, you will stumble on, you're not going to be able to, as we move through this lesson, you're going to get some you cannot use mental math for. So we want to make sure we know the proper way how to do this. Hopefully that came out right. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways depending on how you were taught, but I'm like, I know that I can subtract my whole numbers first. I know I can do 7 minus 5 equals 2, but I haven't subtracted the 3/8 yet. So I still have to take my 2 and take 3/8 away from it, right? Because I can take the 5 away from the 7, but that leaves me 2, but I still have to take this 3/8 away. And so when I look at 2, it's also the same as 1 and 8/8, isn't it? Okay, I can take 2 and change it into 1 and 8/8, because 8/8 is equal to 1, and 1 is 2, right? Because now I can subtract a fraction with the same denominator, and it's really simple. I'll see, oh, I have 1 and 5/8 left. Okay, so wait, did I do that right? Yes. Yeah, it's like, I feel like I wrote the answer wrong, but I think I got it. Okay, so your final answer should be 1 and 5/8. Yes, that is correct. Okay, thought I made a mistake. And then the last one, which happens often, I do make mistakes. This one's actually pretty cool because I already see common denominators here. So that's really easy. I don't have to do any changing to find common denominators. Over here, I didn't really have to find a common denominator because I only had one fraction, but I did convert this whole number into a mixed number, so that it made it easier to subtract my fraction. Some of you can just do this mentally, which is fantastic. But if you needed some help writing it out, there it is. So now all I can do is I'm going to go and add my whole numbers, 8 and 6. So 8 plus 6 is 14, right? But then I still need to add my 4/7, and I'm going to do that down here, 4/7 plus 3/7, which gives me 7/7, which is really equal to 1, right? So I'm going to add that 1 up here to my 14, and I'm going to get 15 as my final answer. So you may have been able to do this mentally too. Look at this and see this adds up to 14, and these two, when I add them together, add up to 1. 14 and 1 is 15. So hopefully you did good on these. You're going to be getting a lot more practice with addition and subtraction of addition and subtraction of fractions, decimals, and of course some whole numbers. That is what we'll work on today in our Zoom math lesson and what you'll work on for Friday and Monday. So be ready and practice, practice, practice. All right, see you in the Zoom.